Men have always been willing to sacrifice everything for a cause, a mission, or a person who gives their life meaning. This isn't just a product of cultural conditioning, it's something deeply embedded in the male psyche, stretching back through millennia of evolutionary history. If you look at the great civilizations of the past, the wars fought, the monuments built, the legacies left behind, you will see a recurring pattern. Men committing their lives, sometimes even their deaths, to something greater than themselves. Whether it's a kingdom, an ideology, a family, or a single individual, the driving force behind this devotion is a fundamental aspect of masculine psychology, the need for purpose through sacrifice. From an evolutionary standpoint, men have always been the risk takers, the ones who ventured beyond the safe confines of the tribe to hunt, explore, and defend against threats. Those who were unwilling to take risks did not survive. Over generations, this behavior became hardwired into the male experienced men, are biologically and psychologically primed to put themselves in danger for something they believe in. And yet, this willingness to risk everything is not blind or indiscriminate. A man will not give his all for just anyone or anything. He has to believe at the deepest level that what he is fighting for is worthy of the sacrifice. This is where things become particularly interesting in the context of relationships. Women often wonder why some men will go to the ends of the earth for the ones they love, while others seem indifferent, unmotivated, or detached. The truth is that men need to feel that what they are protecting, providing for, and working toward has inherent value. If a man perceives that the person he is sacrificing for does not appreciate or reciprocate his efforts, he will eventually withdraw. Not necessarily out of bitterness or resentment, though that can happen, but because on a fundamental level he cannot sustain effort toward something that does not validate his purpose. This is also why men respond so powerfully to admiration and respect. While women often seek love as their primary emotional currency, men seek respect first. It is respect that makes a man feel his sacrifices are noticed, that his efforts are meaningful, and that his struggles are worthwhile. A man will run into burning buildings, work himself to the bone, and endure immense hardship, but only if he believes that his suffering has a purpose, that there is someone or something that acknowledges, values, and understands what he is doing. When a man feels that his actions are recognized and that his struggle contributes to something meaningful, he is capable of astonishing levels of perseverance and dedication. This is why we see historical and literary figures sacrificing their lives for a cause, whether it's a warrior dying in battle for his homeland, a soldier fighting for his comrades, or even a man working tirelessly to build a future for his family. These men do not suffer for suffering's sake. They suffer because they believe that their suffering matters. And in the realm of personal relationships, the same principle applies. A man will invest everything in a woman, but only if he believes she is worthy of that investment. Now, this is not to say that men only seek transactional relationships where they expect something in return for their sacrifices. It's much deeper than that. What men truly seek is meaning. They need to feel that their actions are part of a larger narrative, one that aligns with their values and aspirations. If a man does not perceive that his devotion is contributing to something worthwhile, he will either disengage or direct his energy elsewhere toward work, hobbies, or even self-destruction. But when a man finds someone who genuinely inspires him, someone who makes him feel that his dedication is appreciated and reciprocated, he will move mountains. This is why some men will fight to the very end for the woman they love, while others will walk away without a second thought. The difference isn't always in the men themselves, but in how they perceive the relationship. If a man feels that his efforts are taken for granted, that he is merely tolerated rather than admired, he will naturally begin to detach. Conversely, when he feels that his presence, protection, and provision are truly valued, he will give everything he has. This brings us to a crucial point, the role of inspiration. A woman who understands the nature of masculine devotion does not demand blind sacrifice. She inspires it. She does this not by manipulating or coercing, but by embodying the kind of qualities that make a man want to give his all. Men do not devote themselves to people who belittle them, who undermine their sense of purpose, or who treat their sacrifices as entitlements. But they will risk everything for someone who makes them feel seen, needed, and deeply respected. A woman who inspires has an almost indescribable power, one that can elevate a man to his highest potential. This power does not come from manipulation, coercion, or superficial charm. It arises from something far deeper, a combination of character, grace, and an understanding of human nature. When a man encounters a woman who inspires him, he is drawn to her not just for her beauty or presence, but for what she represents. She becomes a beacon of possibility, a reminder of what he could be if he rises to the occasion. Men by nature are driven by the need for purpose. They seek challenge, growth, and a sense of accomplishment. Without these elements, they stagnate, becoming passive, unmotivated, or even destructive. An inspiring woman understands this on an intuitive level. She does not diminish a man's drive or attempt to control him. Instead, she channels that energy towards something meaningful. She makes him want to be better, not because she demands it, but because he feels compelled to become the kind of man who deserves her presence. This kind of inspiration is rare, which is why it is so powerful. Many people mistake inspiration for mere admiration or attraction, but it is something much deeper. A man may be attracted to many women, but he will only change, sacrifice, and strive for a woman who truly moves him. This is because an inspiring woman does not merely appeal to a man's desires, she appeals to his higher self. She makes him see the world differently, making him believe that more is possible, that he is capable of greater things, and that there is a reason to push beyond his current limitations. Such a woman does not inspire by being perfect. Perfection in the superficial sense is not what motivates men. Instead, it is authenticity, strength, and depth of character that leave a lasting impact. She is confident but not arrogant, kind but not weak, and loving but not overly accommodating. She has standards not because she seeks to control, but because she knows her own worth. She does not beg for respect or affection. She commands it through her actions, values, and unwavering sense of self. One of the most compelling qualities of an inspiring woman is that she does not attempt to change a man forcefully. Instead, she creates an environment in which he wants to change. She believes in his potential, but she does not enable complacency. She challenges him not in a critical or demeaning way, but in a way that forces him to confront his own weaknesses and grow. She expects more from him, and because of that, he begins to expect more from himself. This is where the real transformation happens. When a man meets a woman like this, he does not feel pressured to improve, he feels called to it. He sees in her something that awakens his ambition, his sense of responsibility, and his desire to be a protector and provider in the best sense of those words. This is not about material provision, but about being a man who is strong enough emotionally, mentally, and spiritually to hold space for someone extraordinary. An inspiring woman also understands the power of respect. Men do not thrive in environments where they feel belittled or undervalued. A man who senses that his strengths, ambitions, and struggles are met with appreciation will go to the ends of the earth for the woman who sees him that way. This is why respect is often more important than love in a man's world. Love without respect feels hollow, but respect fuels devotion. When a man knows that the woman he admires believes in him, he will move mountains to keep her by his side. But respect alone is not enough. An inspiring woman also knows how to balance support with challenge. She does not allow a man to remain stagnant. She does not accept mediocrity. She pushes him, but she also believes in him when he doubts himself. She is the voice that reminds him of his strength when he feels weak. She does not rescue him, but she does stand beside him as he fights his own battles. In doing so, she becomes a source of strength rather than an obstacle or a crutch. This kind of relationship is the foundation of legendary love stories. The most powerful men in history have often had women who inspired them not through manipulation or control, but through their presence, wisdom, and belief in what was possible. Such women have shaped warriors, leaders, and visionaries. They have been the reason men built cities, won battles, and overcame impossible odds. They were not passive observers. They were catalysts for greatness. An inspiring woman does not settle for a man who does not strive. She does not tolerate laziness, dishonesty, or weakness of character. And because of this, she attracts men who do strive. She elevates the kind of men who are willing to grow, and she naturally filters out those who are not. A man who does not wish to improve will feel uncomfortable in her presence because she is a mirror reflecting his potential. Many people assume that the ideal relationship is one where there is constant peace, ease, and comfort. They believe that love should be effortless and free of friction. But this is a naive and incomplete understanding of human nature, especially when it comes to men. While comfort and security have their place, too much comfort can be detrimental. Men do not grow in environments that demand nothing from them. They do not reach their highest potential when everything is handed to them without effort. This is why challenge is an essential ingredient in a powerful and lasting relationship. It is not opposition for the sake of conflict, nor is it unnecessary difficulty. It is the kind of challenge that forces a man to rise above his current self. Men, by their very nature, are built for struggle. They thrive when they are working towards something difficult, when they are overcoming obstacles, and when they are proving themselves both to the world and to the people they love. Historically, men have had to fight for survival, whether through physical battles, hunting, or competition in leadership and social status. This instinct remains deeply embedded in their psychology. If a man finds himself in a relationship where there is no challenge, where everything is easy and no effort is required, he will either grow complacent or lose interest entirely. A woman who understands this does not shy away from challenging a man. She does not create unnecessary conflict, nor does she nag or criticize. Instead, she expects more from him, and in doing so, she calls forth his best self. She does not settle for mediocrity, and because of this, he does not settle either. When a man is with a woman who challenges him in the right way, he begins to push himself harder, not just for her, but for himself. He sees himself through her eyes. And if she believes he is capable of more, he starts to believe it too. This is a delicate balance. Challenge must be combined with support. If a woman is only demanding without also being encouraging, it can become demoralizing rather than motivating. But when a woman both believes in a man and holds him to a high standard, she becomes a powerful force in his life. She creates an environment where he is constantly growing, where he cannot become complacent, and where he is always striving to be the best version of himself. Too many relationships fail because they become stagnant. A man who is not challenged will eventually stop trying. He will take the relationship for granted, lose his sense of purpose, or seek excitement elsewhere. Some men turn to destructive habits over indulgence in entertainment, unhealthy relationships, or distractions that provide artificial stimulation. They do this because they are wired for challenge, and when they do not find it in their personal lives, they seek it elsewhere, sometimes in ways that harm them. A woman who truly understands a man's nature does not allow this to happen. She expects effort, ambition, and growth. She does not tolerate laziness, dishonesty, or weakness of character. And because of this, she attracts a man who is willing to rise to the occasion. A weak man will find this kind of woman too demanding. He will resent her expectations and seek someone who does not challenge him. But a strong man with real potential will recognize the value in a woman who makes him better. This kind of challenge does not always come in the form of direct confrontation. Sometimes it is as simple as having strong values and refusing to compromise on them. A woman who has high standards for herself will naturally inspire a man to meet those standards. If she takes care of herself, he will feel compelled to do the same. If she is ambitious and passionate about her work, he will be motivated to pursue his own goals with more intensity. If she refuses to settle for half-hearted effort, he will feel the need to give his best. Challenge also comes in the form of emotional depth. A woman who truly challenges a man does not accept surface-level connection. She wants depth, honesty, and authenticity. She will not tolerate emotional distance or avoidance. She expects real communication, real effort, and real commitment. And because of this, she creates a relationship that is not just comfortable but deeply fulfilling. Many men have experienced relationships where they were not challenged, where everything was easy but uninspiring. In these situations, they may have enjoyed the short-term comfort, but over time, they felt unfulfilled. They lacked a sense of purpose within the relationship, and without that purpose, their passion faded. This is why Some men leave relationships with women who did everything for them and end up with women who expected more. It is not because they did not appreciate kindness or affectionate, is because they needed something more than just comfort. They needed to be challenged. Trust and loyalty are the foundation of any strong and lasting relationship. Without them, love cannot flourish, no matter how intense the initial attraction may be. They create the sense of security and stability that allows a relationship to deepen, evolve, and withstand challenges. While passion and excitement may spark the beginning of a connection, it is trust and loyalty that sustain it through the inevitable trials of life. These qualities are not just desirable in a relationship, they are essential. Men in particular place an immense value on trust. A man must feel that the woman he commits to is someone he can rely on, someone who stands by him through both success and failure. He needs to know that his vulnerabilities will not be used against him, that his ambitions will be supported rather than mocked, and that his loyalty will be met with the same level of dedication. Trust for a man is not just about faithfulness in the romantic sense. It extends to emotional trust, intellectual trust, and even trust in the way a woman speaks about him when he is not around. A man who senses that he cannot trust his partner will never give himself fully to the relationship. He may stay physically present, but emotionally he will withdraw. He will hold back his deepest thoughts, his most ambitious dreams, and his rawest fears, because he cannot risk exposing them to someone who may not guard them with care. A woman who understands this does not take trust lightly. She does not create unnecessary jealousy. She does not play games. And she does not give a man reasons to doubt her integrity. Instead, she builds a solid foundation by being consistent in her actions, honest in her words, and unwavering in her loyalty. Loyalty is another pillar of a strong relationship. In a world filled with distractions and temptations, a man must feel that his partner is truly committed to him, not just when things are easy, but especially when things are hard. Many relationships begin with promises of loyalty, but true commitment is tested in moments of difficulty. When a man is struggling, whether it be with career setbacks, personal failures, or moments of doubt, the watches closely to see how his partner responds. Does she stand by him, encouraging him to keep going, or does she begin to lose faith, subtly distancing herself, making him feel as though he is only valuable when he is at his best? A woman who inspires loyalty in a man is one who demonstrates it herself. She does not waver in her commitment when challenges arise. She does not allow outside influences to shake the foundation of the relationship. She is not swayed by fleeting attention or momentary excitement elsewhere, because she values the depth and strength of a bond built on trust over the superficial thrill of novelty. A man will fight for a woman who is loyal to him, who makes him feel that no matter what happens in the world outside, he has a safe and unshakable home in her presence. This level of trust and loyalty is what allows a man to truly be himself. In a relationship where he feels secure, he does not need to constantly be on guard. He can share his thoughts freely, knowing they will not be twisted against him. He can express his fears, knowing he will not be seen as weak. He can take risks in his career, knowing that if he stumbles, he will not be met with scorn but with encouragement. This kind of support is rare, and when a man finds it, he values it above all else. But trust and loyalty are not just about the way a woman treats a man. They are also about the way she carries herself in the world. A woman who is trustworthy does not entertain drama, seek attention from other men to boost her ego, or create situations that could undermine the security of her relationship. She does not need constant validation from outside sources because she is confident in who she is and in the value of what she has built with her partner. This kind of self-assurance strengthens a relationship because it eliminates doubt and unnecessary conflict. At the same time, trust and loyalty are reciprocal. A man who expects these qualities must also embody them. A woman cannot be expected to remain devoted to someone who does not show the same level of commitment. A strong relationship is built on mutual effort, both partners reinforcing the bond by consistently proving that they can be relied upon. One of the most destructive forces in any relationship is betrayal, whether through dishonesty, infidelity, or broken promises. Once trust is shattered, it is incredibly difficult to rebuild. Even if forgiveness is granted, the foundation is never quite the same. This is why maintaining trust is far easier than repairing. It requires daily consistency, small acts of reliability, and a shared understanding that loyalty is not just about avoiding betrayal, but about actively nurturing security in the relationships